Howdy folks, I'm Neat Nectarine, noiselessly napping near 19 nocturnal newts.
I'm Amber.
And here are 19 more nocturnal newts for us to nap next to. They're poisonous newts, but they're really people because there were a bunch of witches out here doing a bunch of witch things, turning people into newts. And that's why I, this Nectarine, am here to try to save them from their newt fate. Let's get started. So many ups and downs in that one, Amber. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Turning My Daughter into a Wannabe Superhero with an Incredibly Strong Moral Compass. To preface the story, I'm going to start with my opinion. I do not believe what my daughter did was wrong. In fact, I'm incredibly proud of her, even though she may have been a little overzealous. Her reasoning is very much in the right place. We have discussed at length what she should do if this situation ever happens again, which I hope it won't. So let's start in the beginning, as it's the best place to start. I am a 35-year-old female, and I have a wonderful 9-year-old daughter. She is smart, outgoing, incredibly strong. 2 years ago, me and my ex-husband divorced. He fell out of love with me and fell into the bed of a 21-year-old, and it's a story that's old as time. But it doesn't hurt any less. About 6 months ago, I was mugged on my way home from work. I was messed up, covered in bruises, and in a lot of distress mentally. My ex is not a present father, and he moved to France for work about 3 months after the divorce was finalized. So he wasn't able to help look after my daughter while I was healing. She spent some time with my mom, but she saw me at my worst. I have a lot of guilt about that. She's been getting very anxious to leave the house, and she didn't want to leave my side. She was worried that mommy would get hurt again. A friend of mine's son was being bullied at school a little while back. She enrolled him in some karate classes, not for fighting, but more as a way to build his confidence, and it really worked well for him. She suggested that maybe putting my girl in some classes may help her feel more secure. I suggested this to her, and she wanted to do them, but she wanted me to do them too, which, to be honest, was probably a good decision. I spoke to the sensei and asked if I could sit in on the beginner's class with her, etc. I explained the situation and he agreed. We both loved it, and she picked it up so quickly, and she loved the play activities with the other children. A few months after we started, she was leaps and bounds ahead of me and ready to play with a more advanced level of students. The bonus of that is that the night that the advanced kids meet was after the beginners adults met as well. So we changed our nights, starting training with the adults. She carried on with the advanced kids. She has picked it up so quickly. Her confidence in her ability is sky high too. A few times, when we have been out, she has seen something that has worried her, like something walking towards us, and she will grip my hand a little tighter and move herself in front of me. I keep reminding her that I'm the adult, we are safe, and this is not her burden. For anyone wondering, mental health care is hard in the UK. We are not very well supported, and she has spoken to a counselor that works with her school, but she hasn't said that she needs to see anyone more. But we are on a waiting list. Therapy never hurt anyone, so why not look into it? But I can't afford to go private, and the NHS just takes a very, very long time. Fast forward a few weeks, last week was her first week back at school after the summer holidays. There was a new student in her class, we will call them Alex. Alex and my daughter have become fast friends. She couldn't stop speaking about him on Monday when they came back from school. Alex likes this food, Alex likes that TV show, Alex said this, Alex did that, etc. It's adorable, but my kid has took it upon herself to be Alex's bodyguard. Alex is a very expressive child. They wear a school uniform, but Alex likes to wear nail polish. He has long hair, which they wear pulled back or in a plait. He has bows on his shoes, and he just wears what he wants and has the confidence to rock a potato sack that he feels comfy in. His parents are amazing too. They have been so welcoming of my daughter and me too. We have had drinks this weekend after the incident, and they are wonderful people. So to the incident. Last Thursday, Alex changed his black nail polish for a deep plum purple color. Some of the boys in the class decided to show how bad their upbringing was, and they told Alex, "You're a boy, you shouldn't wear girly things because that's what makes you gay." Both Alex and my daughter told them to shut up and go bother someone else. This is when one of the bullies said, "If you're wearing girly stuff tomorrow, I'm going to kill you." Yeah, you read that right. So my girl, being the defiant little menace, decided that she wasn't going to tell an adult. We have had a very long conversation about this, so don't worry. And she was going to handle this herself. Alex also decided that he was going to handle things his way as well. Friday morning rolls around, the plum nail polish has gone, and in its place is the most beautiful and vivid pink you have ever seen, and his hair was in an elaborate Viking-style plait. It must have took a little while. It was stunning. Well, apparently this was like waving a red flag in front of the bully's face. He marched up to Alex and told him that he was going to kill him at lunchtime. My girl told him that he could try, but she wasn't going to let him. Lunch came around and they were outside for playtime. True to his word, the bully started a run at Alex and my girl took him out. Now bear in mind, up until this morning, I only really had the details from 2 9-year-olds. So when Alex told me that she flew, I was fairly hesitant to believe it. He told me that she punched the boy in the face, made him bleed, which made him cry, and now he is petrified of her. I got a phone call from the school after lunch asking me to come and pick her up because she has been suspended for fighting. Alex was refusing to leave her, saying that if she was suspended, so was he because it wasn't her fault. Alex's dad arrived at the same time that I did to collect our kids. The headmaster told us that it was pending an investigation and we would be called in for a meeting on Monday. Obviously, when my daughter told me the full story, I was livid. I asked why she didn't tell a teacher. She said that she wanted to handle it, so he knew that he couldn't threaten people. But she told a teacher after the fact, and they didn't believe her. So I'm even more livid at this point. I contact Alex's parents and discuss it, and I have a drink to bond over our kids, etc. So this morning, 8 a.m. rolls around, and I'm sat in front of the headmaster. He begins to bemoan about how my daughter has brought violence to the school, how she has broken a boy's nose, and I am not kidding you, that she is very unladylike. I was honestly aghast. We have a zero tolerance at school when it comes to violence. My daughter had stood on top of a little wall at the edge of the playground and essentially kept watch. She saw the kid running towards Alex. When he got close enough, she launched herself off the wall straight at the boy. She essentially did a flying punch, landed on him, and then proceeded to lock her arms in his and keep him in place until the playtime supervisor arrived. I asked him how the investigation has gone, and he said that he has spoken to the boy, and because this was a completely unprovoked attack, my daughter would be suspended further for a week with behavioral management program, and she would be expected to apologize to the boy that she hit. I'll be honest, guys, I've never been the confrontational type. I think that it skipped a generation. But in that moment, I summoned my spirit of my little girl. I asked him how he could have completed the investigation if neither my daughter, Alex, or the parents had been involved. How he could come to such a conclusion without any of the facts or evidence. He just stumbled over his words. I asked him, so is this what happens when students call someone names and threaten to kill them? You punish the person protecting them? He was silent and said that it was the first time that he had heard of this and that he had been told that it was unprovoked and my daughter was the only aggressor. I asked him who told him this and he was silent. I then called him a liar and that he was informed of the situation because both my daughter and Alex told him. I left the meeting telling them that my daughter was not suspended. However, she would not be in school until the situation had been dealt with to a satisfactory conclusion. I have emailed the teacher and asked her to forward any work that she would be doing in class, and she will do it from home. I have her in the office with me today, and my boss is letting me work from home for the rest of the week. I know that I'm responsible in part for what she has done. I know that violence isn't the answer. I'm very proud of her for standing up for what she believes in, but we have had to talk about how she needs to always tell me things like this. I am furious with the school. I called Alex's mom when I got out of a meeting. Alex isn't in today because they're having a meeting this afternoon about the bullying that Alex has been subjected to. She has supported my actions though and said that if she doesn't get the right response today, she will be pulling Alex too. There aren't many primary schools locally that will have space left for them if the best decision is to pull them out of the school permanently. But I'm not happy with how the headmaster has dealt with this situation, to be honest. Thanks for listening. I just needed to word vomit out into the void. I have messed up my daughter royally, I know. And folks, before we get into our discussion, there is an update. So let's get into that update. Today I messed up by turning my daughter into a wannabe superhero with an incredibly strong moral compass. Update. Hello everyone, I'm not sure how updating works, but after many responses that I received yesterday, I just wanted to keep you all in the loop of the situation. I asked the mods if I was allowed to post an update, and they agreed. Thank you, mods. If you don't know me, here's my post from yesterday. Firstly, please can I thank everyone in the comments for showing your support and sharing your own stories. Thank you. I honestly thought, and I still do to some extent, that I had messed up and failed my daughter. I thought that her need to protect came from the fact that she had seen me so broken. A comment which I have now lost said something along the lines of, Mommy got hurt by a bad people, and now her friend is being threatened, so she wanted to stand up for us. As honorable as that is, I don't want my little girl to feel that way. I want her to be a child for as long as she can be. I want her to play with her friends and have no cares in the world apart from who's going to be the goalkeeper, or if she wants to have ham or turkey on a sandwich. Do you know what I mean? I have spent some time with her over the weekend and last night reassuring her of that fact. I am always in her corner and I'm always right behind her, and I will always believe in her no matter what. She has promised me going forward that she will always tell me, from the small things to big things. I'm her mom no matter her age, and she's always going to be my baby, and I'm always going to go bat for her. We have also discussed if she feels safe in the school, and if she feels that the teachers would have dealt with it, if she had told them. She said that she feels safe, but she doesn't know if they would have done anything. But she has never asked. This is something that I will be keeping an eye on and discussing with the other parents if their children have similar feelings. So on to the update. My daughter is suspended until Wednesday. I had a meeting with the deputy headmaster because the headmaster is unavailable today. Alex's mom, who, for ease, I am going to call Joanne, had a meeting with him yesterday afternoon. For context, my meeting with him was about 20 minutes long. Joanne kept him locked in the office with her for nearly 2 hours. In those 2 hours, she made him go through the chapter, verse by verse, on the anti-bullying policy and explain each point to her. Joanne told me that she had him admit that what the other child said to Alex alone should have been grounds for punishment. He still claims that he had not been told about the threats and wants to open up an investigation into his staff to get to the bottom of it. Joanne told him that she didn't care now how he handled this staff. He needed to stop trying to place blame somewhere else and take accountability. She told him her first and only concern right now was that her child had been at school less than a week and had received threats of death twice, and the only person being punished is the only person who stood up for him. He reiterated that we have a zero tolerance policy, to which Joanne stopped him mid-sentence and asked why her son wasn't included in that policy. He apologized and said, I can see how it would look that way. However, he has not said that he would be fixing it because he has to do another investigation. I'm starting to think that he has a word of the day calendar or something like that. My meeting with the deputy head was very basic. I think that it was essentially just to placate me, but I have everything documented if I need to go through this again. My daughter has been suspended for fighting. She can return to school tomorrow morning. I did ask if the other child would be punished, but I was told that they can't discuss the other child, and to be honest, that's fair. But I will be monitoring the situation. There will be no behavioral report or forced apology. Last night, we went to Alex's house and had dinner. Alex kept telling my daughter, "You're on my Christmas card list for life." I don't know where he got it from, but they think that is hilarious. My daughter has convinced Alex to try karate, and they are very excited. It's karate night tonight for us Thursday, and we will be talking with Sensei Paul about the altercation, just so that they can have a chat about safety and when to fight, etc. More than anything else, I want her to feel safe. She isn't an army, she is a little person, and she needs to remember that sometimes. I also told my daughter that I told her story to some people online, and I showed her some of the nicer comments. I asked her if she would like to choose a name that you can call her, and she has chosen Hawk. Suddenly something clicked into place. The flying punch that she did, it was a cobra punch. The character Hawk, Cobra Kai, does them a lot. You sort of kick out your leg like you're going to kick the opponent, but instead with a punch. No one has taught this move, but I have seen her jump off the settee and do a sort of thing before. When we started doing karate, I took that as an opportunity to introduce her to the Karate Kid series, and obviously following that, we started Cobra Kai. She is absolutely obsessed with Hawk and Tori. Minor spoiler for Cobra Kai, please don't talk about her at the end of the last season. She is very upset with Tori right now. So we have now had another discussion about how we shouldn't replicate things that we see on TV and movies. Parenting is hard, and I have the teen years to come yet. I might just dye my hair gray now to get it over and done with. One more thing that I would like to address, I had 2 really horrid DMs regarding Alex's gender identity and sexual orientation. Firstly, they are 9. He is figuring out who he is. If they are LGBTQ+, then that's who they are, but it's no one's place to determine that but Alex. He likes bright colors, he likes how makeup and nail polish makes him look, he is just unapologetically himself, and we can all learn a thing or two about that. Oh, and another thing, I never understood why people felt the need to justify themselves to people in the comments claiming that their stories were AI generated, but now I'm experiencing it. It kind of stings a little bit. I'm not writing this for validation, I don't know enough to care about whatever karma points are, and I wouldn't know how to use ChatGPT if my life depended on it. I can't prove to you that I'm a human, and that this is real, nor does it really matter. But please be careful who you say that to. Someone could be out there pouring their heart out, and you completely diminish that by diminishing them. Just be kind to people, or don't say anything at all. You know what they say, opinions are like buttholes, everyone has one, and they all stink. Anyways, Hawk saw some of the comments saying that she deserved a treat, and a lot of you are saying ice cream. She doesn't want that, she wants a sword. Apart from being terrifying sometimes, I think that she's going to be okay. I'm going to buy her this sword, and I think that maybe some books about the samurai. If anyone has any other suggestions, I'm all ears. I don't know if they will be a good or bad role model, but she seems like she has developed a passion for martial arts, and I'm all about supporting physical activities. But getting some history in there would be amazing too. I'm sorry, I intended to keep this brief, but I just seem to waffle. I think that I need to find more adults to talk to. Haha. I was never much into journaling growing up, but I can see why people do it. It's nice just to get everything in your head out there and in black and white. Things can seem a lot more simple when they are on one page. Anyways, I'm not sure what the future holds, but I know that we will tackle it head on. Sword in hand, apparently. Thank you for the love. I really needed it. You're all great people. All right, folks, what do you think of that marathon?
I think OP's daughter sounds adorable. And I'm glad she has her friends back. I'm not happy with how the school has handled the whole situation because, well, yes, you shouldn't punch other kids. It seems like that kid was charging Alex to, attack him. And the school was, perfectly happy to just ignore everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is some points here where the girl, she likely felt like she would have been powerless in the situation to help her mom, right? Mm-hmm. And then she sees about to say the exact same thing happen to her friend, and she doesn't want to see her friend beat up and, put in the same kind of position that her mom was. And certainly, I think that OP is great for wanting to get her the help that she needs here. But I think also this might have been empowering for her to realize that she can be the hero and help defend people when they need help, right?
Right, and it seems like she punched him just to subdue him and then just held him until the teacher came.
Yeah.
So she was trying to, neutralize the threat.
Yeah. She didn't, keep attacking him. She didn't, she threw one punch and then, locked him into place to prevent him from doing any harm, right? If she was really trying to just fight him, then, she would have continued to attack him, right? But she subdued him pretty quickly. Now, again, I'm not justifying violence, but I do think that there is a time and a place to defend yourself and a time and a place to defend yourself from, defend others, right? There are some people who will only take violence as an answer, right? This bully here, and oftentimes that's bullies, right? I mean, there's a reason why they say the way to take care of a bully is to punch them in the face, right? Sometimes there are people who will not negotiate and will not use diplomacy, and the only language that they speak is violence. And you cannot reason with people like that, and in those cases, you have every right to defend yourself from them. So,
well, to top it off, it seems like this bully has the school supporting him, and so I wonder what would have happened if no one had defended Alex. I don't think the school would have taken it as seriously. It seems like the bully, maybe comes from a more esteemed family or fits into traditional masculinity better or something that pleases people more.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope in the future that they actually do, that Hawk actually goes ahead and tells people, like, the teachers and whatnot in the school, because I think that at least giving them the opportunity to do something is better than not giving them that opportunity. And that way that they can at least have like a heads up when something does go down. And again, like, this is a really gray area because she did attack him, she did throw the first punch, but it was under the threat that he was going to actually like do serious harm to another person, right? And in that case, sometimes you just have to let somebody throw the first punch, really, and then defend yourself.
Well, but then they both get suspended for fighting anyway. Like, that's the thing is, like, it doesn't matter who throws the first punch so much, like.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that school policy. I mean, certainly I think that that is a wrong thing. Like, you should be able to defend yourself, period. I strongly believe that you should be able to defend yourself.
Well, and the whole, like, they're not even using it properly because, the kid threatening, like, again, he's seen no consequences. It's clear now, like, the headmaster had been told by both the daughter and Alex that she was defending him, and he tried to pull this, oh, your daughter was the only aggressor in the situation. She was attacking unprovoked. Like, he just doesn't care. He wants to protect the bully for some reason.
Yeah.
And that's just disgusting. And I hope that there's someone higher up at the school, or maybe even the media, who this could be brought to and could change policies for the school.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Knock, knock.
There are no bullies here.
Knock, knock.
I am not at home. I am using a Ring doorbell.
Knock, knock.
I can see you. I can see that you are a person holding a bag.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Etch.
Etch who?
Bless you. Do you need a tissue?
I said, I very clearly enunciated that.
It was a very prolonged sneeze.
I said, etch who? There was no sneeze. There was no sneeze. and I have puberty and Earl Grey. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy special Sunday, folks, and you know what makes it special? You do, Amber does too, and Hawk does as well.
And Brian does as well.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on bullying.
Don't bully people.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty simple. Easy. An easy way to live your life is not to bully people. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.